yourself. I'm Jason Whitlock. That is Marcellus Wiley. That dude.
Yes, sir.
All right, coming up, Nick Foles just got paid. I'll tell you why Dak Prescott should take notice.
And if the Warriors are really vulnerable or just really bored. But we start every day with a Whitlock. So what you got to be, dog?
Marcellus, I have a few words of wisdom for Russell Westbrook and the modern professional athlete. Fans are like family. You can't choose them. You can't disown them. Not really. You inherit them. And they share your lineage, a love of sports, for life. And you're best served learning to love them, or at the very least, tolerate them, even the ones who make your skin crawl.
Don't lie.
For millionaire professional athletes, life without a boatload of fans is like a dinner table for two on Thanksgiving Day. That says something about you, not your family. Russell Westbrook has a you problem. He thinks he can pick and choose NBA fans and weed out the ones he doesn't like. Last night in Utah, cameras captured Westbrook cursing at and threatening a Jazz fan and his wife. Take a listen.
I promise you. See, I'm playing. I swear to God. I swear to God. You up. You and your wife. You up.
That is absolutely indefensible. Westbrook defended his actions by claiming the fan taunted him in a racist manner. But the fan, of course, had a different explanation.
How it started was a young man and his wife in the stands told me to get down on my knees like he used to. And for me, that's just completely disrespectful. Disrespect will not be taken from me. I'm completely just sit back sometime and just take it like that. That's just one video, but throughout the whole game, since I've been here, especially here in Utah, every time I come here, it's a lot of disrespectful things I said.
Russ is just F-bombing and carrying on, acting a fool down here, and everybody's getting on him. And he had, I guess, heat. I thought it was ice. I just told him, I'm like, just sit down and ice your knees, bro. And he turned to me and he's like, that's heat. And I'm like, well, you're gonna need it. And then it turned into not safe for work.
I don't care whether the fan said get on your knees, ice your knees, heat your knees, or chop your knees off. It's all irrelevant. He's a fan. He paid his money. He gets to say what he wants. The actions of a fan rarely require a reaction. 2 weeks ago, Westbrook got triggered when a child slightly touched him along the sideline. In 2016, the NBA fined Westbrook $25,000 for yelling F you at a Mavericks fan. Westbrook is exhibiting the behavior of your typical privileged, pampered, millionaire elite. He's better than the peasants who support his lavish lifestyle and come to witness his athletic feats. The peasants must be controlled. How dare they insult someone as great as Lord Russell Westbrook the Great, first of his name, the king of triple-doubles. Let me add this. I also don't care what's on the Twitter page of the Jazz fan. I don't care if he supports President Trump. I don't care if he's previously tweeted disdain for Westbrook. I've never lived in a fantasy world where I ever assumed all sports fans behaved appropriately all the time or thought perfect thoughts, or were free of bias and bigotry. Fans are like me, flawed, emotional, occasionally inappropriate. A well-adjusted adult doesn't allow his emotions to be triggered by any and every trash-talking fan. I've been a trash-talking fan. You look for athletes as mentally weak as Westbrook to target. Players on an NBA court say all kinds of disrespectful things to each other. In extreme cases, they might slip in some highly personal trash talk about wives, girlfriends, mistresses, sexual orientation. But Westbrook wants to beat up a fan and his wife over something said about his knees? That's a Westbrook problem, not a fan problem. Kobe Bryant got fined $100,000 for using a gay slur. Westbrook should be suspended for a week and fined $200,000 for his poor behavior. All right, joining the desk now, a couple of NBA champions, Brian Scalabrine and Dante Jones. Marcellus, I'll start with you. What, if anything, should the NBA do about Russell Westbrook?
they should slap him on the wrist in terms of punishment because there's a greater gain in this moment than just a punishment and a fine. Where we are right now is two worlds colliding. In an ideal world, Russell Westbrook can tune out the noise of the fans. In an ideal world, fans don't say ignorant, disrespectful stuff to the players. But we're not there. In the reality, we know that these worlds are colliding and more frequently than ever. And so here's the real. If you're the NBA, you have to side with Russell Westbrook. And I tell you why. One, you want to protect the workplace. And protecting the workplace is where the guys actually perform. Where you come out, you pay your hard-earned money as a fan to actually watch a product. You want to watch that product go out there, and you want to see it. And whether you cheer, you boo, whatever you want to do in the lines of respect, you want to see that product. That's why you spent your money. But that's not even the priority of what you're trying to protect if you're the NBA. You need to protect the fan experience. And I made this transition from being on the field to actually being in the stands. And let me tell you, it is not a fan-friendly place for me, my son, now my daughter, to go to with my wife. Because as soon as I sit down, I don't check my section for my viewing and my seating arrangement and to see how well I can see the field or the court. I'm checking to see how many knuckleheads in my section and where the yellow jackets at. Because I know once I'm sitting around one of these guys or gals, all of a sudden, there goes my fan experience. NBA has to know, like all major corporations know, if it's a family-friendly product, protect it at all costs because that's the most lucrative and profitable. So you slap Russell Westbrook, say, hey, man, you can't threaten fans / a woman. But more importantly, fans, get in alignment because you're messing up the experience for everyone else who's paying their hard-earned money.
Fans complaining? Were there Utah fans oh my God, this is horrible. This man said,
you know what? Most communication is nonverbal. You want to see the eye rolls. You want to see the nonverbal. You want to see how many times I've sat there and be like, now, should I call security?
I'm talking about Utah last night.
I wasn't there. You weren't either. So,
I know.
So the point is, you don't know how many people are sitting there actually being compromised in their experience because the one who's having the mob mentality off the sauce is doing too much. If you're the NBA, there are only a few fans like this. Handle them like they did in New England.
Sure.
Suspend them, get them out of there, and then you'll solve this problem.
But Westbrook went over the line. You have security people in place to handle this. I 100% agree with you. My wife tells me all the time, some of the stuff that these fans say, you can't bring your kids to the game. And you're not going to check that guy sitting 3 rows down from you. But Westbrook shouldn't have to check him either. That his job is to go out there and hoop and to win game. Security, there are people in place to go up there and check fans. And I agree, they should not be at the games. But that's not Westbrook's job to kick them out.
What's the worst that's been ever said to you? I need that this perspective from you because I can give you what the worst has been done to me on my family.
Sure.
Side. What's the worst been said to you before?
I'm not sure, because I'm not really sensitive like that.
No, I'm
the same way. I don't remember. They threw a battery one time.
I'm not sensitive. I'm not triggered by words. I'm not triggered by racial slurs. I think they're all words, and it just is what it is. But sometimes fans can go too far. Should Russell Westbrook be fined? Yes. Should the fan be dealt with? Yes.
100%.
I think Russ was willing to take the fine but to speak out for himself. But he should, but
$25,000, $50,000 to Russell Westbrook is nothing.
But we all do have different triggers. We all have different vices and we have different triggers. Some words mean different things to different people. In my life, the fan experience, sometimes by the actions on the court and how well you compete and what you may have done even on accident, I've had to deal with death threats. I've had to have security at my hotel for a month straight, at my house for a month straight because of an action on the court, because of a fan, his interaction at the game thought it was my life and my children's and my wife's life should be affected because of a basketball game.
Yeah, but you should not have to deal with that. Someone else should be in place for that.
That was
what
started
you gonna do now? Go to him and say, we gotta square this up?
At the game.
Agreed.
It was a revolt started at the game because they thought something happened that it shouldn't have never happened. So what I'm saying is, Russ should be fined for the words that he used. But sometimes these fans are taking this way too far. And what's going on in our world, in our country right now.
We don't disagree. None of us disagree with that.
They think they have different rights.
To some degree in terms of...
Because the fans are just not can do whatever they want to.
I just wanted to argue the facts. And Russell Westbrook said the facts are, the guy said, get on your knees like you're used to. The guy's argument is, no, I said, You got ice or heat on your knees.
But if you check the guy's timeline, he is a.
No, you ain't got to check the timeline.
You check his Twitter timeline.
No, listen to his words.
He's saying
and all of a sudden it went somewhere that was not good for work. Guess what? He didn't even, the dialogue ceased. He started to go to a different place.
But again, because I don't want to argue with about his Twitter page.
I'm not either.
One, Russell Westbrook has no knowledge of that, and no one at the game did.
What I'm saying is he's lying.
It's after the fact. No. Russell Westbrook could be lying too. We can call people liars. We can do that. But all we got to do is argue the facts. If Russell Westbrook's facts are right, there's still no provocation there to threaten this man or his wife and to drop them F-bombs. Period. Based on what Russell Westbrook said happened.
That is true.
Based on what this guy said happened. The facts are still the same. There's no provocation for what Westbrook did. If we're going to create a society where all it takes is for some white man to say anything to us and it justifies us flying off the handle and making a fool out of ourselves, then we are creating a sorry society for ourselves as black people.
This is not about that. You showed a montage where a kid touched him, another one where a woman, another one where an Asian man. This is not about just some white man walking. All those videos were of different ethnicities, different age groups. This is about somebody who, even in their own words, was incomplete in what occurred. He got to the point he said, and he was dropping F-bombs, and I said something about the knees, and then everything else is not suitable for work. But guess what? What is that? Because that's what Russell Westbrook.
But James Dolan banned a fan for work for less.
I got it.
He banned the fan.
And he's a pampered elite just like Russell Westbrook. And this whole mentality that now fans are so out of line, they're screaming things at us.
That's not what he's saying.
Oh, my
That's
God.
over-exaggeration.
Are you kidding me? I watched Raymond Felton.
Oh,
we're humans, and they're just saying anything to us. Are you kidding me?
It's work, brother.
And again, I'm just going to, I work too, and have throughout my entire journalistic career have dealt with death threats.
Okay.
Real and some BS. It doesn't provoke me to go off and lose my mind.
Sometimes.
I've had drunk people confront me all over my work.
How did he go off and lose his mind if he stayed in that place and said, do not make that threat again?
Hey,